Hello and welcome to No First Physics, where we come straight to the point immediately. In this video, we will explore linear and angular velocity of objects moving in a circular path. Let me first begin by asking you something. If an object is moving in a circle, why do we need two velocities to describe it? I mean, the motion is circular, not linear, right? So why are we even talking about linear velocity? Not only that, it gets stranger. One velocity points along the motion while the other points perpendicular to the plane. And that sounds completely unnatural. So, here is the real question. Why do we need the linear velocity at all? To understand this, let's start simple. Imagine a rotating disk. Let us look at 3 points on this, point number 1, 2 and 3. In time t, as the disk rotates, these 3 points move to positions 1, 2 dash and 3 dash. And they turn through an angle theta. So every point on this disk has the same angular velocity. They all rotate through the same angle in the same time. But are they moving equally fast? No. A point near the edge covers more distance in the same point than a point near the center. So even though the angular velocity is the same, the actual speed in space is different. That's where linear velocity comes in. And we connect the two using the equation v equal to r omega. So why is now angular velocity alone not enough? That's because angular velocity tells you how fast the angle changes, but not how fast the object moves in space. It describes rotation, whereas linear velocity describes actual motion through space. In other words, angular velocity tells you how fast you're turning, linear velocity tells you how fast you are actually moving. Now, let us turn our attention to the direction of v and omega. Let's begin with v. Why is v tangential? As you already know, in circular motion, the object changes direction continuously and at any instant, it points along the tangent. Therefore, v is tangential. Now comes the most important part. Why is omega perpendicular to the plane? This is where most students feel something is artificial. Think carefully. The motion happens in a plane, but the rotation happens about an axis. And that axis is perpendicular to the plane. So, we need something to represent the axis and the sense of rotation. And that something is angular velocity. And we define its direction by the right hand rule. Curl your fingers in the direction of motion, your thumb points along the angular velocity. So the angular velocity is not pointing where the object moves, it is pointing along the axis about which the motion happens. And now here's the beautiful part. Because we have defined angular velocity this way, we can connect rotation and linear motion using the equation v is equal to r cross omega cross. We can use the cross product of r and omega to get linear velocity. This gives the correct magnitude as well as the correct direction. And this we are able to do because we have defined omega and its direction in the way that I described earlier. So, is the angular velocity's direction just a mathematical trick? No, it's actually both. It represents a physical idea, the axis of rotation, and it also gives us a powerful mathematical tool, vector products. So, to summarize, angular velocity, how fast it rotates, linear velocity, how fast it actually moves in space, and angular velocity perpendicular to axis of rotation or along the axis of rotation, and v tangential. So one motion, two velocities, both absolutely necessary. And once you see it this way, circular motion is no longer confusing. It's actually beautifully simple. Thank you for joining No First Physics. If this video has helped you, please like the video and subscribe to my channel, and I will connect with you once again in another video. Thank you.